Hey guys, I am here with my first favorites video of 2016 and I'm really excited to film this because it has been a while since I have filmed a favorites video. I decided to stop doing monthly favorites in 2016 mainly because I felt like each month I didn't have enough to share with you guys, but now that it has been about 6 months of 2016, I've actually accumulated quite a few things here that I really genuinely have been enjoying and feel like I want to share with you guys. Now, just a heads up, I have quite a few beauty and style things that I want to talk about, but I'm going to put those at the end of the video just in case you're not interested and you want to hear what else I've been enjoying. So to start off with the TV show, the show I've been kind of obsessed with this year has been Chicago Fire. Now, this is a show that I kind of watched on and off since it premiered, but I didn't really get into it until this past January when I had a little bit of extra time, decided to watch a couple of episodes from the first season and ended up completing seasons 1 through 3 by mid-February. Like its counterpart, Chicago PD, which I have actually mentioned in quite a few favorites videos, this is another Dick Wolf show, and just like with every other Dick Wolf show that I've ever watched, I got sucked in by the ensemble cast, the amazing ensemble cast. Yes, there is danger and firefighting and hot guys, but honestly, what keeps me coming back to the show is the amazing character interaction. I love all of the backstories, I love all the character relationships, and I just find myself getting really invested in these characters and their relationships because they seem so real and they're not formulaic like a lot of other network shows, like a lot of other characters on network shows, and I just really enjoy them. And just in case you were wondering, my favorite character is Otis because I always fall for the quirky ones. And yes, Chicago Justice is going to be a thing, and I am so excited. So excited. As for some music that I've been enjoying, this is officially my second year as a K-pop fan, and it's apparently my new spring-summer music because it's just, most of it, at least what I listen to, is very upbeat and happy and energetic, and it really, I don't know, it fits this time of year really well. The specific band that I've been getting really into and have been really enjoying listening to is BTS, or the Bangtan Boys, and hopefully I pronounced that all right. They are a really quirky group, and their most recent album, Young Forever, was released, I believe, in the beginning of 2016, and it's definitely different from their earlier stuff. It's kind of an interesting mix of pop, hip-hop, and like electronic-y house music, sort of. So if that sounds vaguely interesting and you're at all interested in listening to music in a language you don't understand, I would highly suggest it. Totally switching gears, a podcast that I've been really enjoying is Stuff Mom Never Told You, and this is a podcast put together by the people over at How Stuff Works, and it's basically a podcast that talks about a really wide range of topics, all from a feminist perspective. They've done everything from the history of gynecology to an episode on female truckers to my personal favorite episode on ghosting, because apparently that's a thing that modern technology is making worse. There are two women who host this podcast whose names I unfortunately cannot remember, but they have a great rapport with each other. They are simultaneously very funny and yet very analytical, and I just think this is a great podcast for people who are looking for kind of a more feminist perspective on many different topics. Also, if you find that you like their podcasts, they have a fantastic YouTube channel as well where they do kind of shorter pieces, so I will link that and everything else that I talk about here in the description below in case you want to check that out yourself. For an app that I've really been enjoying this year, I definitely have to mention Snapchat, and this is kind of surprising to even myself because I was not into Snapchat at all when it first became a thing. I only really got a Snapchat last year, and even then never used it until this past January, really. And that's mainly because I thought I knew why they needed disappearing photos, if you know what I mean. I think it's like a simplified version of daily vlogging, and I think that's why I've really been enjoying it. I am trying to get more into it myself and trying to use the My Story feature and whatever, so if you'd like to come follow the random bits of my life that I share on Snapchat, you can do so if you'd like to. I'm Little Spider 9, as you might expect. Now, in the month of May, I kind of didn't end up reading anything at all, and instead tried to explore some other areas of interest and other hobbies, and ended up getting really sucked into different journaling systems. Now, I've mentioned my bullet journal before, but I definitely got into my bullet journal in the past like month or so. I know you can get fancy journals that are meant to be bullet journals, but I'm just using this that I had lying around. And I think what I like about the bullet journal system, aside from it being just kind of one massive list, which really appeals to my Virgo soul, I just like that it's a really flexible planning system. Now, technically there is a whole bullet journal system or bullet journal template that you can follow, but you really can just adapt it to yourself and what you find that you need. So for example, monthly spreads aren't really in the technical bullet journal setup, but I can add those. I can add video trackers and task trackers and have expenses and weekly spreads. And I just find that it really works for me. It's really improved my tracking for different aspects of my life, and it's really improved my productivity. So I count that as a definite favorite. If you guys are interested in me making kind of a more fancy in-depth video about my bullet journal, I would be willing to do that, but for now, just wanted to mention this as a definite favorite. Another journaling system that I got really sucked into in the last like 2 months is the Hobonichi journaling system. Now, surprise, surprise, Hobonichi is a Japanese system of journaling where people do more doodling or drawing than actual writing, and I mainly got sucked in because Pinterest. Pinterest is a dangerous place for organization and stationery lovers. Just be warned. Again, you can get fancy specific Hobonichi journals that have a printed monthly spread and daily pages, but I'm kind of in a use what I have mood, so I just am using this journal that I had lying around, and I like that you can kind of do whatever you want. So you can do more writing and less doodles, or you can do mainly art, and I just think it's a really fun way to fit drawing into my daily life because I was having a hard time fitting it in. I love drawing, like I said, but I just didn't have an outlet for that in my everyday life, and now I do, and I am going to be doing a whole video on this, so if that's already up, I will link it in the cards. Speaking of creativity, that is kind of the perfect segue into my beauty and style favorites, because the first favorite I want to mention is my new bag. This is a bag I knit myself from a Wool and the Gang ready to knit kit. If you haven't heard of Wool and the Gang before, it's a really cool company where you can either buy pre-made or pre-knit accessories and clothing, or you can get these knit kits or knitting kits or crochet kits if you prefer, where they give you a pattern and all the yarn that you would need and all of the accessories like a strap or the hardware for a clasp, and then you can knit it yourself, which is what I did. The instructions are really well written. They have a lot of tutorials on their website and on their YouTube channel, so if you get stuck at all, you have instant help, and I just think it's a really cool kind of quirky take on a black bag, and I like that it adds a little bit of texture to an outfit that otherwise might not have any. My next style favorite has to be my new white Converse All-Stars. These are shoes that I have really liked on other people for a while, and when I needed a new pair of Converse, I decided to take the plunge and get the white ones. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried that these are gonna be like super dirty by the end of summer, but I just feel like this is a good summer shoe. It's definitely different from my traditional black Converse, which I've been wearing since like 5th grade. Not the same pair, but you know, my black shoe is kind of my staple. Also, I like that since they're white, I could throw a little pop of customization on there, and they're super comfortable. I wear them all the time, and yes, they are going to be dirty. When it comes to clothing, I am completely a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. So when I saw that Target has these new crew neck shirts out, I was super excited. I love stripes. I'm kind of obsessed with stripes. So I really like this kind of like maroon and white striped one. I also got a plain white one and a black and white striped one, and I just think these are really flattering shape wise, and yeah, I'm just super basic. They're like 10 bucks. Great staples. And finally, my last favorite was actually a Christmas present, and that is the original Naked palette by Urban Decay. Now this is a palette that I have been lusting over, and yes, that is the appropriate word, lusting over for about 4 years since I first discovered beauty vloggers, and I mean, just look at it, it's so pretty. This is the only big eyeshadow palette that I own because I always just feel like there's like a couple of shades that I will never use, and like why bother paying for those shades if you're not going to use them. But with this palette, I literally have used every single one of these. I don't use these two gray tones quite as much because I look better with the warmer stuff, but I mean it's great for everyday wear. Like it's not too flashy, but if you want to vavoom it up, you can, and I love it. And I don't normally splurge on makeup, but this was totally a dream come true getting this. I was very happy. My brother thought it was a little weird, but I was like very, very happy to open this on Christmas Day. And that is it. Those are all of my favorites for the first half of 2016, and I'm sure this is going to be a quite long video, so if you have made it to the end, congratulations and thank you very much for watching. Also, if you can't tell, I had coffee right before I filmed this video, which is why I feel like I'm like hyper talkative and why I'm really long-winded, so apologies if you think I've rambled, because I probably have. And on that note, I'm gonna wrap it up because my neighbor's kids are out screaming in the street and I have to get on with the rest of my day. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have had a good first half of 2016, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!